In this video, I will introduce the yearly budget and show you how you can use this spreadsheet to manage your personal budget. This spreadsheet was designed to help you manage a yearly budget 1 month at a time. It includes a segment for each month, as well as a transaction register for each month of the year, so you can track all of your income and expenses to ensure you stay in complete control. The layout of our main categories and subcategories are exactly the same as you've seen in the Create Your Budget form, which you used to create your own budget. If you've not yet created a budget by using our Create Your Budget form, I recommend doing so before using this yearly budget. You can download the form and watch a brief tutorial on how to use it by going to stewardship.gatewaypeople.com. Most common categories have been included. We've also added 2 subcategory lines for some of the main categories so you can personalize your categories. Just name the category whatever you want it to be by entering it into those cells. Next to the categories column, we've provided a segment for each month of the year. Additionally, each month is divided into 3 sections. First is the budget section. This is where I will enter the amount of the budget I created. Second is the inflows and outflows section, where all my income and expenses will be recorded. And last, the balance section, which will show me what I have available to spend in each category. Let's start by entering the amounts for each category of my budget, starting with my net income. Since I'm starting this budget in January, I'll enter my numbers in the budget column in the January segment. If the month you begin using this form is another month, then just enter your numbers in that month segment. As I enter these amounts, the same amounts are entered in all of the following months, allowing me to quickly fill in my entire budget for the whole year. If you have a variable income, it's still recommended that you create a set monthly budget based on your expected yearly income. Any variations in income or expenses can then be easily adjusted as you manage your budget. For example, if I make a change to my income in the month of February, let's say I got a one-time bonus of $500, changing my total income from $3,900 to $4,300, the change will also affect all the subsequent months. Each month will now show a $4,300 income. But since this bonus is only for 1 month, I need to manually change the next month's income back to the original $3,900, and the following months will change to reflect my normal income amount. This applies to any changes you make on this form. Any change you make to a category amount will also change that category in all future months, but will not change any amounts in past months. Once I've entered all the amounts of my budget, the net income versus expense cell should be 0. This tells me that I've assigned all my income by entering all my planned expenses below. If I assign more than my income, this cell will show a negative amount. If I don't assign enough, it will show a positive amount, meaning I have not assigned all my income. Always assign your entire income. After entering the budget amounts, I'm ready to start using my budget. I will begin recording all of my income and expenses on the transaction register. At the bottom of the form, I have a specific tab for each month of the year. I will use the January transaction register to post my income and expenses. Start by entering the date. Then the payee, this is where the money was spent. Next, from the drop-down menu, choose the category where you want the expense to be allocated. As you can see, the options on the menu are the same as the category list of our budget. Since this is income, I will choose net income. You can enter a note in the memo line to specify what the expense was for. And last, deposits or credits should be recorded in the inflow column, while debits and withdrawals go in the outflow column. At times, you'll have transactions that you need to split into multiple categories. For example, let's say I have a receipt from Walmart for $75. $40 was taken out in cash, and $35 was for groceries. You will need to record 2 separate transactions, one for $40 assigned to her category, and the other for $35 assigned to groceries. Now that I have a few transactions recorded, let's see how it's affected my budget. As you can see, the transactions I entered on the transaction register now show up on the budget in the current month's inflow-outflow section, and my balances for the categories where I've already posted the transactions now show how much I have left over. This is a crucial part of budgeting, knowing how much you have left to spend in each category throughout the month. Some expenses are fixed, like the mortgage or rent payment, Once you make the payments, the balance will be zero. Other expenses vary from month to month, like most utilities. You must keep this in mind as you manage these categories. If you have money left over in one of these categories at the end of the month, it doesn't mean you can spend it. It just means your bill this month was below the average you budgeted. In this example, the electric bill was lower than the average amount, while the water bill was higher. This is perfectly normal. Since these expenses are averaged, future months will cover any overspending or underspending that are happening now. While you use this budget, you can move funds from one category to another to cover overspending, which may happen from time to time. Having this option can keep you from wrecking your monthly budget, even if you blow it in one or two areas. For example, I've overspent in my clothing category by $20.50. I can move this amount from his category since I have money available in that category. I'll do this by reducing the category his from $40 to $19.50 and increase the clothing to $95.50. This will cover my clothing expense for this month and allow me the full $75 for the next month. But don't forget to change the next month's amount back to the original budgeted amount. Clothing must be set back to $75 and his category back to $40. Now let me explain this top section so you can understand what these numbers represent. I've already covered the budget column. Under the inflow-outflows column, I have the current income that's come in, $1,950. Below this number is the total expenses I've made so far this month, $1,804.35. And below that is the difference between the net income and the expenses I've made. The $145.65 is the current money available in my budget. In the balance column, the top number is the balance of the net income. Since one paycheck has been deposited, this leaves the other paycheck still missing, thus the negative number. When the next paycheck is entered, this cell will display 0, showing that all the income for this month's budget has come in. The number below that is the total expenses balance. It's the difference between the available amount in your budget and what you actually spent. $3,900 is our monthly budget, what we planned on spending. $1,804.35 is what we spent. And $2,095.65 is the balance, what we have left to spend for this month. Although this is the available amount you can spend for this month in your budget, the actual money available to spend right now is only $145.65. The difference between the income we deposited so far and the expenses we made. When the next paycheck is deposited, then all of the funds will be available to spend. Your checking account balance should be equal to this amount, plus any transactions that have not yet cleared your bank. Well, that's it. I hope you see that managing your money using the yearly budget tool is not only easy, but extremely powerful in helping you accomplish your financial goals. To download the yearly budget form, go to stewardship.gatewaypeople.com. And while you're there, take a look around and take advantage of all the great resources we offer. Thanks for watching.